Okay, so here is today's trades and my focus list for July 15th, 2025. All right, so let's get into it. So today's trades, not much here, just Reddit was the only trade today, 0.20% risk, and it was a stop out. So most of my trades didn't trigger, but this one gapped up a little bit and then took out this high. So the high, the inside candle is my level. I didn't have much conviction on this, anyways. But I figured it was good risk reward. It was like a 1.6% stop on a 680R, so I just bought it through the pivot level. But my fill is pretty bad, so I got filled like right at the close of the 1 minute candle on this third 1 minute candle, and then it just ended up stopping me out. And on the 5 minute, it ended up going back up, taking out the 5 minute high, but then just ended up reversing lower again. So pretty weak, feels pretty weak from like what it should, because the QQQ at 1340 was doing this was going down, but like it's still up here, and you have Reddit that I mean, it just broke down completely in that time frame. So didn't re-enter it, although I was considering it, and turned out to didn't re-enter it, and it closed kind of weak. So we'll see what happens with this. Current positions, so still have half of my SOXX. Came down and tested the 10 moving average today. Ended up getting bought back up, so I am going to stay in it. Let me put on my brokerage. Right there. So still in this, up about 800 bucks. Came down a good amount today, but then closed up above the 10. So nothing wrong there. Coin, still have my half size from back on the 18th. Again, just trailing this 10, doing nothing wrong. Looks pretty good. IBIT, Bitcoin, not little extension in the morning, came back, but it's today could be a reversal candle, so maybe I'll start trimming here soon. But for now, looks pretty good. And besides this big wick, it's not doing anything majorly wrong, but acceleration of volume, big wick, definitely a warning sign. HTZ, so bought it this day, and we had a weak close, and then this morning we had a really weak open, came back to the 10, but wicked right off of it and came right back up. I'm up about $1,000 on this trade, and if it gives me another day sideways, I'll rebuy it. I'll buy more. I'll start adding to my position through 807, and I'll pile into this thing. So you can see, yeah, like week open, and then just bought right up the rest of the day. So hasn't done anything wrong yet. Really, it's still in the range of this July 10th candle. So once we get out of this candle's range, we'll get a little bit more of a clear view on where this thing's going to go. But for now, not doing anything wrong at all, and I'm just going to let it work, let it do its thing, and maybe it tightens up and resets up, and I'll rebuy more. ASTS, this is acting really good. So again, same thing this morning. We opened below yesterday's close, came down in the morning, opened weak, washed out my average right here, and then just UNR'd it and came right back up. Hasn't retested since. The hourly looks really good, and took out the high and took out this Wix level. So now the next level would be $48, and we can push through 50. Maybe you go to all-time high, 54, maybe $60. We'll see what happens. But so far, this is acting pretty well, not doing anything wrong, and I risked 0.5% on this, so we're getting traction on higher risk buys. ASTS right here, so we risked 0.5% on this. So if we're getting traction on the higher risk buys, then I want to continue to push size and try to continue to risk. Oh, I forgot. I bought AOI today. So I did. I actually did buy 2 stocks today. I bought AOI as well. So bought this through. So I bought this through the high of the inside week, which was the previous high of day. It tried to come right here, and then it got, it never filled me, and then came down, and then pushed through right here. You can see the volume come in on both of these candles, and I bought some, opened weak, and then washed out long. Could have bought it through this high right here, and closed pretty well. You know, immediately moved away from my average, so that's good. Bought it at 12:56 p.m. 12:56. I risked about only 0.20%. Didn't want to go too heavy on it, especially since the setup is a little weird, and the risk wasn't that tight, to be honest. You know, let's see, the stop loss is 6.7% on 11 ADR. Almost visible by 2, but not quite. But 6.78%. And 11.13 ADR. 13% ADR. 1 minute high. Yes, yes, yes. And that was my other buy. So we'll see if this one end up resetting up, but it is pushing through, and made a linear move up. It hasn't done anything wrong. I wouldn't mind if it goes sideways a little bit here and flags out maybe, and I'll buy more. I wouldn't mind buying more. And we'll see what happens. Focus list for tomorrow. So this is sloppy, a little bit of a sloppy focus list. SEDG, I think this looks pretty good. Solar name, ran up, made a really linear 70% move up off of this like 200 retest, and it is flagging. Like, you can't deny that. I mean, this is a flag, right? Higher lows, lower highs, tight inside candle, 10s right here. So I do think it's kind of solid. Now, here's what I don't like is, like, I mean, look at the overall, like, look at this, like, whoops. Like, overall, I mean, you can clearly see this thing has just been beaten down and absolutely destroyed, which I do not like. However, higher low, or you put in your low, higher low, higher low, higher high, higher high, higher high. You are above the 200, you're above the 50, you are making a linear move up, and it has a group run. It's also, I've seen this thing run, made a linear move up, reclaimed the 200, had some sort of bad news and got absolutely shit on, and then bought back up, and then more bad news, got absolutely shit on, and then bought up again. And so how much more bad news is this thing going to have? I don't know. What I do know is that, it's made a linear move up, and it's flagging and tight. I do think you got to be careful with this sector, though. I mean, a 20 to 40% gap down is nothing to mess around with. So you can get a linear move up and a clean move up, but yeah, those gap downs are nothing to mess around with at all. So gonna have to keep that in the back of my head for sure. With sizing. But in terms of the setups, like they do look good. They look good, and so I'd be inclined to try some. I think JMIA. I tried buying it this day, and then it's just continually falling on volume. It's tightened up here. The hourly looks a little sloppy. But it is tightening up. Looked off the 10-day today. If I had to draw a flag, or like the obvious flag would be like this, right? But if you're trying to get a good entry, I feel like this would be the most clean pivot is 438. I feel like that's a solid pivot level to look at. Or this weekly level. It's like 442. $432, $434. I mean, you kind of have a mini flag in here, like this, and then here's your higher lows, lower highs. I would try it over. I feel like this is a pretty clean level right here. This 437. I would try it over 437. Maybe a small position. If you go to hourly time frame, it's almost the HVC of this level right here, 441. 441 looks like a pretty clear level. It's the high or the close of all of these. 441 looks like a really good level to use as well. But 438 or 437 is not bad, I don't think. It's not a bad level to use. 441 to be your confirmation, I think. Yeah. Either way, it's dying out on volume. The lowest volume since this day. This day. So way back here, 1.29 million shares, 1.5 million shares. It's made clean moves, so I'm inclined to try it. I think it looks good, and I'm open to trying it. Next up, I have AIRO. This is an IPO name. Remember my Discord put this on my radar. Looks pretty good. You don't really have a linear move up yet, but I mean, you had a 200% one-day move. Pretty incredible. And you're forming this kind of bigger flag here, like so, higher lows. You had a momentum move up Friday, and then now you have an inside candle. Obviously, you'd want it to develop a little bit more. The hourly looks decent. So I might try some over 29.50. I think it looks okay. It looks decent, and it has the potential to make a big move. So I would be inclined to try some over 29.50 if it wants to go. Ideally, it like flags a little bit here, maybe a couple more days, and then goes. But I would be inclined to try a little bit. if it went above 29.50. Cypher. So it was between this and Wolf, because I think Wolf looks pretty decent too. But if you can see, Wolf only made a 50% move up from June 26th, and it gets linear. But you know, June 26th, I mean, 46% opposed to, 80%, big difference. And this is a lot more linear of a move. You can see it. So I think Cypher is the better stock here, or the better chart, the better trade here, and it's at these big resistance level highs. More sideways would be ideal, but it's gone sideways for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 days, 5, 6 days. Inside candle tight. The 10 is right here. If it can get above 640, I would try some. Again, linear move up, nice consolidation, and higher lows, lower highs. Try to make a new high, caught, shot down, bounce back, and I do think it looks decent. All the miners are kind of setting up right here. Iron made new highs today, but got shot down. So I think this could be decent, and I'd be willing to try this. Yeah. ARQQ, so all of the quantum names look ready to go, or they look good. The problem is it's against my rules to long them, because at least QUBT, because it's... So I'm not supposed to... In my rules, I'm not supposed to long any stock with the change of 7% or higher in a single day. So obviously today for QUBT was 8.66%. QBTS was 6.89%. ARQQ was within my rules, but looking at these charts, I feel like QBT is the best, and then ARQQ is probably second best. Although this has held a 20 the entire time, QBT lost a 20, so maybe ARQQ is the way to go. But if I was going to long any quantum name tomorrow, it would have to be ARQQ and not QBTS or QUBT. Just per my rules. And then I do think the chart is honestly better on ARQQ. This is a really nice chart, actually. 70% move up in 4 days, and then higher lows, lower highs. It actually looks pretty good. So I think over the inside day high looks pretty good, which is 3720 level. I think I would give this a shot. And it also is almost this HVC kind of thing. Not really though, because this volume was higher. But I think this is solid and it's tight. And it fits most into my rule book. So I would probably give ARQQ a shot. And it is one big cup and handle, so maybe it is better. I don't know, we'll see. But it looks pretty good, and I'd be willing to try some, I think. These solar names are scary, man. I mean, those gap downs are nothing to play with. Really scary. Really scary, but whatever. So QBTS would go in the secondary, and then so next I have HSAI. This is just choppy, so I'm not a big fan of this, but over the all-time high, maybe it could get going. I wouldn't trade it, but CRCL looks pretty good. Again, longing this would be against my rules, so I would have to lighten up on size if I am going to trade this, but it does look pretty fucking good. I mean, higher lows, right on the 20, lower highs, like clean flag level. I would try it over this high, 215.61. Yeah, that's why I would try it. It's against my rules to long this, but it does look pretty good. 1580R, $3 billion in dollar volume. That's pretty big. It's a nice flag. It's got sufficient sideways. So, I'd be willing to give this a shot, but it needs to clear 215, 216 for me to give this a shot, and I'd break my rules and long it. See, like back here, negative 9% day, and then just went. So, I would be willing to break my rules, but it needs to get out of this range, which is this high. Because right now it's just trading in that range. So if it can get above that high, I'll try some. So my top longs, I think Jumia, JIMA, probably the top long. Just because linear move up, sideways, clean flag. I mean, really clean fucking flag. Low volume. Pretty much everything you fucking want. I gotta be honest. AIRO has big potential. Fits within my rules. Doesn't have the most sideways, but it looks okay. ARQQ is the best quantum setup wise, so I would try this. And then SEDG or Run, I'd probably do. I think SEDG has the better setup, and it moves the most linear, so I'd probably actually do SEDG. Yeah, I would long SEDG instead of Run. And then Cypher as well. And then CRCL if we can get above T16. That's all I got. Bitcoin, yeah, I already talked about this. Market wise, we're just kind of chilling, but we continue to go higher. So nothing wrong here. IWM, same kind of thing here. MDY, chilling, nothing wrong here. Yeah, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. See you guys tomorrow.